The TVS Apache RTR 310 is a lot of things. It's fast, it's fun, it's fairly attractive, but if there's one F TVS has given it, it's features. There's a total of 12 plus more connected features, and that means you and I don't have time to hang around and chat. Let's get right to it. Of the 12 features, we're going to divide them into two categories, convenience and safety. And since safety always comes first, let's give a chance to convenience and start with that. First feature we're going to try out is cruise control, and how it works is I have a single button to control all the functions. I tap it to switch it on, then I slide it back above I think 40 kilometers per hour. Yeah. And I slide it back to set the speed, and the speed is set. It's as simple as that. A very easy operation. And as soon as I tap the brakes, cruise control disengages and I'm on my own again. It's really simple, well executed, nice and smooth, and should be very useful if you're out on the highway. Second feature is a function of cruise control again, which is cornering cruise control. And how that works is it uses the lean angle of the motorcycle to modulate your speed. So if it thinks you're going too fast for a corner, it will slow you down based on your lean angle. So I'm at 43, I shouldn't be going into the corner at 43, and see, that's the problem. What happens is I would finish all of my braking for a corner before the corner and before I start leaning. So cornering cruise control is for a very niche sort of a corner. When you're on the highway and it's a really long flowing corner, it may reduce speed by the crucial 5 to 7 kilometers per hour just to help you take that corner more easily. But for tighter corners and for maybe hilly roads like the one I'm on, that's not what this is for, and that's fair actually. So cornering cruise control, sure, it should be okay on the highway, like a nice flowy highway, it should be alright. For twisties like these, not so much. The final cruise control related feature is slope dependent control. How that works is it sees if you're going down a slope or up a slope, and it'll maintain the cruise control speed. So right now I can feel it sort of braking and cutting power. It's not doing it too jerkily, just the right amount, and on an uphill slope it will start to add some throttle to keep you at the same speed. So basically, cruise control, great. Cornering cruise control should be good on certain situations. And finally, slope dependent control, again, just expands the horizon of how long you can keep cruise control activated. Adding to the convenience of cruise control is the two-way quick shifter. It's smooth across the rev range and across gears on upshifts, and it's only downshifting into second or first gear, but the rev matching isn't quite perfect, but it is still fairly good. And another seamless addition to the RTR 310 is the suite of connected features via TVS's Smart Xonnect phone application. Now, I've used the same application on a bunch of TVS scooters and motorcycles aside from the 310 as well, and it's an app that works really well. You can obviously connect your phone to it, and then you get your phone call alerts, you get your message alerts on the screen, so your phone notifications. You can also set a destination on the app, and then that pushes the turn-by-turn navigation for you to see on the screen, which is very, very convenient. Aside from that, you also have functionality on the app side of things where you can see your last trip, your data from the trip, like your average speed, your highest RPM, and other stuff like that. So the app has a lot of functionality. My only problem with the app is that right now when I'm running iOS 17.2.1 on my iPhone, the app is the latest version, which is I think 4.2. It seems to be crashing a lot. Every time I open the app, it crashes. Sometimes it works. When it works, it's flawless, but I have found it to be crashing a little bit lately. Aside from the connected features, you also have 5 riding modes, starting with rain, going to urban, sport, track, and finally supermoto, where you can disengage the rear ABS to lock and slide the rear wheel. There isn't a night and day difference in performance between the other modes, but I like that each mode gets its own unique screen layout. Okay, with that, let's come to the safety stuff. We'll start with the traction control. Now, where on tarmac. I'm going to whack the throttle open. So I can feel the TC cutting in a little bit, but it's actually fairly smooth. I also tried it out on the dirt a little bit earlier, and it's allowing just a little bit of slip to feel playful, and then it starts to restrict power, and I think it's actually executed quite well. But the next thing is cornering traction control, which I'm not too keen on trying out because whacking the throttle open mid-corner is kind of dangerous. And there's also cornering ABS. Again, not too keen to try it out on the road. I'm glad these two features are there, and I trust TVS as a brand to develop that technology in a safe way that it can save me in the event that I ever, God forbid, need cornering traction control or cornering ABS. But a feature we can try out is Wheelie Control. Now the folks at TVS told me that for this to work, the traction control needs to be turned off. So we've done that. And let's try it. Okay, so first gear, build up the revs. Yep. Didn't let the front wheel come up, just cut power at the right time. And it's not too abrupt actually, which is something I'm surprised about. I would have thought it'll be a lot more jerky. We're gonna try it again. Nothing. Really sophisticated. So the next feature we're going to try out is the rear wheel lift mitigation, and for that we're going to come to a full emergency stop. Oh wow, absolutely no squirming from the rear end. Didn't feel the rear wheel lift at all. We're going to try it again, but as far as it goes, I'm really impressed by the electronics here. Gonna try it again now. So I can feel it sort of let go on the brakes just a little bit. But it's doing it really seamlessly, surprisingly so. That said, I'm sure you're wondering if these features are actually useful on a 35 horsepower 312cc motorcycle. You can never say no to having more safety features. I'm just glad they're there. As long as they work in the background and they don't interrupt with my riding, and they're just there on the one day that I need them, I'm glad they're there. All of these features are operated and are accessed by a 5-inch TFT screen which worked glitch-free through the day and is actually very legible in bright sunlight as well. If I had any complaints about the screen, it would be that there's too many menus to figure out. But of course, that's also because there is a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of the features that the RTR 310 is offering. And that's pretty much all of the features on this particular RTR 310. There's also the heated and cooled seat that's available, which I was looking forward to sitting on, but it wasn't spec'd on this bike. There's also TPMS, which completes the 12 features that we spoke about, and I think TPMS is one of the most crucial additions to the safety net of the RTR 310. Sure, the electronic stuff sounds very cool, but I think it's TPMS that will keep your day-to-day ride safer by just ensuring you're on the right pressures every single time you ride and during your ride as well. Of course, these features aren't free. The Dynamic Pro Kit, which includes the 6-axis IMU that brings with it cornering ABS, cornering TC, wheelie control, rear wheel lift control and slope dependent brake control, cost rupees 22,000, and the Dynamic Kit, which has more hardware focused upgrades in terms of the TPMS, adjustable suspension and a brass coated chain, cost rupees 18,000. So they aren't exactly cheap, but I do think they're worth it. Because some of the stuff here like cornering traction control, cornering ABS, even the dynamic tail lamp which flashes brightly to warn people behind you that you're braking really hard, could all save your life one day. So some of the stuff here is really useful, and if you are interested in a techie bike, now you know what those features are like and what they're like to use as well. But still, I recommend you go to a TVS showroom, play around with the screen, play around with the gizmos, go for a test ride, try the cruise control, and let me know what you guys think about it. If you want to know what the RTR 310 is like to ride, Varun's already done a first ride review of the RTR 310 from Thailand, We'll link that below, the like button and the subscribe button, so go check that out and drop a comment below on which feature you are looking forward to trying out the most. Thank you for watching PowerDrift.